Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to today's future spouse pick a card reading with me, the high maintenance hippie. And in today's reading, I want to share with you a channeled, sexy and spicy letter from your future spouse, as well as any other extra spicy information I can gather for you today. So if you want to delve into the juices with me and you want to hear a hot letter from your future spouse, I need you to choose one of these three letters. Pile number 1, we have the yellow letter. Pile number 2, we have the blue letter. And pile number 3 is the purple letter. I highly recommend that you go with your first gut instinct. Spirit is going to guide you towards the pile which has the most relevant information for you. And once you have chosen your pile, I shall see you in your reading. Hello there, beautiful pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. Now we are going to kickstart the reading by delving into this channeled sexy letter from your future spouse, and then afterwards I want to see whether I can gather any extra juicy and interesting information using the tarot, the charms and the dice. So let me clear my throat because I am about to read your letter from your future spouse. I told myself I'd find someone just like you. I guess you could call it manifestation. I'd visualise the person of my dreams whilst touching myself, and I laugh at how identical you are to them. The softness of your skin drives me wild. I want to lick, kiss, bite and taste. I'd never desired a fantasy so strongly. I've worked on myself, my addictions and coping mechanisms. I've gained a deeper understanding of pleasure now, true pleasure. I've always had a racing mind by default. I'm curious, quick and seek out adventure. You have no idea how far we're going to go and how wild we're going to get. In brackets, tiger emoji. When we first meet, you literally make my mouth water. Your top shows just the right amount of skin, yet I can see your full shape and the details through your top. Does it turn you on when you show people just enough? Because I think it's cruel. Haha, that was a joke, guys. I did put haha down there. Your chest will always be one of my favourite features, as well as your beautiful, kind soul and radiating smile. There's something around the way that your areolas sit. They're so mesmerising. You can make me do or buy you anything by allowing me a taste. I love it when you let me dominate. I like to see your mouth full, having you on your knees whilst I feed you. I equally like to be fed. You can feed me with a bit more force though. I'm daring and I like to be pushed beyond my limits. Not a day goes by where I'm not aggressively turned on by you. You bring me so much pleasure and fill me with the energy to strive for our best. I love you, baby. Stay sexy. Okay. So when I tapped into the energy of your future spouse, I sensed somebody who was either tall or average height. They weren't incredibly broad, but they were most certainly very athletic. They gave me an energy of being very zippy and very quick. This is somebody who doesn't stay in one place for long. This is also somebody who's very witty and somebody who's very clever when it comes to their vocabulary and their words. I definitely sense that this person is a charmer. Now, I do want to say that this person could be quite cutting with their words to the point where if they're going to get in some kind of conflict with anybody, they're going to use their words. And I don't necessarily bring this up because they're going to use that against you. I mean, if you were in, a bit of a heated argument, maybe you will find out that their words are very cutting. But if they're in any situation where they need to defend themselves or defend you, they are more likely to use their words and their smarts than using their fists. And it doesn't mean that this person won't fight for you, it's just they're a lot more confident when it comes to their smarts and their vocabulary, when it comes to any form of conflict. They are very, very confident when it comes to their negotiation skills as well. So it does make me think that this person may work a career where they have to negotiate and where they have to use their words and they have to be very clever and charming with their words. Sales very strongly comes to mind. I definitely feel that this person really does have a very strong zest for life. There's so much yellow in their energy. Not only have you chosen the yellow letter, but I can see a lot of yellow when it comes to their cards as well. Okay, so I did channel some extra information on the back here that I want to share with you. So to begin with, I channeled the song Keith Sweat Twisted. Now, I wasn't too familiar with this song, so when I channeled it, I did have to put it into YouTube and listen to the song, and I watched the video as well. Now, what I gathered from this song is that it's about Keith being very infatuated with somebody who isn't infatuated back. Now, I don't think this necessarily means that this is going to play out throughout your marriage, but I do think there's an element of this at the beginning, and I very strongly felt that you, at first, didn't have the same level of passion for this as they did. Now, I don't know whether it's because you were already involved with somebody else when you met this person, or whether they were involved with somebody else before you met this person, or whether you just weren't looking for anything at around the time that they came in. I do also think their charm and their smarts may have been like a bit of an alarm bell for you. Maybe you just thought this person was trying to charm you into bed. I do sense that when this person approaches you for the first time, they are going to give off that kind of energy, not because they want to just charm you into bed, but it's because they have like a very happy-go-lucky, and I don't know whether anybody's very familiar with like Cockney attitude. Is very loud, it's very flashy, it's very cheeky, it's like gift of the gab kind of energy. Cockney people do come from like London, it's like parts of London, they call themselves Cockneys. Do you know, I live in England, I should know more about like the Cockney culture, but I really don't. But it's that kind of energy, larger than life, gift of the gab. Even when they're being honest with you and genuine with you, it sounds like they're trying to sell you, there's got to be a phrase for this, hasn't there? But it's like they're trying to sell you, this isn't even going to be a very good phrase, but it's like they're trying to sell you like a broken hairdryer kind of thing. It's like they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. This person gives off that kind of energy, but genuinely, they are very genuine on the inside. But I think at first you feel a little bit wary around them because they just give off those vibes of trying to kind of talk you into bed or talk your pants off you, if you know what I mean. Now, I do think that this person is very turned on by a challenge as well, and I do think you put up that challenge very naturally for them, and it just makes them more and more eager. This is somebody who has the attitude of I always get what I want. Now, I'd say they've got that Cockney attitude, but on the other side, I feel like they have that very cocky attitude as well. So we've got a lot of C-O-C-K energy coming in here, and a C-O-C-K is a male chicken, is a rooster. So I don't know whether they are the Chinese year of the rooster. Okay, my son is a Chinese year of the rooster, and I always think of think of roosters going cock-a-doodle-doo. I remember I had a neighbour who had a rooster, and every morning at the break of dawn it was cock-a-doodle-doo waking me up. But also roosters want to be seen, they want to be heard, they puff themselves up. Okay, they have their morning calls to say, everybody, it's morning, like even though like nobody else wants to get up. So I can sense this kind of energy with them. They may be an early riser as well. There may be somebody who's a bit of an early bird. I do want to say for some of you, they could be somebody who's a bit of a night owl and an early bird, and you think, whoa, you live off 5 hours sleep a night? And they're just like, yeah, I always have done, kind of thing. So I think that may be something that stands out to you with this person as well. Now, at the end of this Keith Sweat video, the girl, she does get and I don't necessarily think it's because, you know, this relationship is going to end badly or anything like that, but I did see it as a symbolism of like a death and a rebirth. Now, I do feel like it's you in particular here. You could be somebody who's never felt comfortable to stay in a long-term relationship. You could be somebody who's had long-term relationships, but you've always had like one foot out the door, whether it be physically or whether it just be emotionally. I don't know whether you're somebody who does have a lot of protective mechanisms in place when it comes to relationships, so it takes a lot for you to give your heart away and give your heart away fully. When you meet this person and when you get serious with this person, that phase of you having to protect yourself is over. It's gone. It's D-E-A-D, it's brown bread, which in Cockney means it's dead. And I think that's the symbolism I was seeing from that Keith Sweat video right there. Now, I get Gemini energy from your future spouse, so I don't know whether you guys are sharing very strong Gemini energy in your charts. I'm getting Aries energy with your future spouse, Aquarius energy, so you could be sharing that too, and I get Pisces energy from your future spouse. Now, I also channeled that your future spouse has a guilty pleasure, and their guilty pleasure is Tina Turner. I know that is so flipping random, but that is what came up, and maybe that will resonate for some of you. I do sense You're Simply the Best. That's the song that I'm getting so strongly, so I don't know whether they just love that song or whether they genuinely are a massive fan of Tina Turner, or you may find that they were brought up listening to a lot of Tina Turner because maybe their mom loved Tina Turner or their dad loved Tina Turner. Maybe they'll tell you they've met Tina Turner. Okay, I also get that your person, your future spouse, is a big talker and they're somebody with high energy. Okay, this is somebody who's very zippy, as I said, and this is also somebody who's very popular. This could be somebody who's very famous within their town, or this could be somebody who has a more widespread fame. I do feel like if this person has gained any level of recognition or fame, it is most certainly by either their wit, or they're motivational speaking in some way. I do also sense that this person is heavily kinky and heavily open-minded when it comes to what they're into in the bedroom. This is somebody who will literally try anything. You can make them do anything. It's like the person who loves a dare. This is the thrill seeker. I do sense this person pushing you out of your comfort zone when it comes to your sexuality. I do think you'll do things with this person that you never ever thought you'd do. And I think they inspire you a lot in the bedroom to be a lot more open. Now I'm getting with this person as well that they're very top heavy. If they're a female, I do sense them being like a little bit more kind of like bigger around the bust, but still being extremely slim. And if this is a male, I do think they are more built on their top half, and they may have like quite slender or slim legs. I can just see you guys sitting next to each other, and you know when you sit down and your thighs squish and they literally look like 5 times thicker than they do when you're standing up. I can just see you sitting next to your future spouse and either realising that your thighs are the same width, or your thighs look bigger when you're sitting down than theirs do when they're sitting down. Now, I was also getting Jude Law. Okay, so I don't know whether you know who Jude Law is. He's an English actor. I don't know whether he's even in any films these days. You might want to Google Jude Law. But I was getting Jude Law coming through, and then I was also getting Sienna Miller coming through as well. So if you are a female looking for a female, or male looking for a female, we're looking at a Sienna Miller kind of energy here. And if you are somebody who's looking for a male, so a male for a male, or a woman looking for a male, we've got Jude Law energy here. Now I do want to say with this, we are not looking at like the eye colour or the hair colour or the skin colour. We are just looking at the features of these two actors. So they both do have very high cheekbones. They have very kind of dainty features. Jude Law in particular has quite a like large forehead. They both have like a longer face / heart-shaped face, and they both have like very pointy chins. Now there's something around those two mirroring each other. They look very, very similar. So I do feel like this is also going to be pertaining to you guys. I think you and your future spouse are going to have a lot of physical similarities as well, a little bit like Jude Law and Sienna Miller, who were actually in a relationship back in like what, the early 2000s or something like that. Okay. So next up, I want to have a little look and see whether I can get any initials for your future spouse. It's going to be your first name, your middle name, your last name, their first name, middle name or last name. Okay, so first up we've got the letter H. We have got Q. We have got the letter C. The letter Z. Another H, so we've got double H here. Okay, this could be somebody whose first name is H and their last name is H. And we've got a Y here, and we do also have a number 1. So I don't know whether number 1 is their house number. I don't know whether they are really attracted to the number 1. I don't know whether they're life path number 1. I don't know whether number 1 is their lucky number. Okay, I do also want to have a look at the images on the back of these letters and numbers too. Okay, so we are getting the sleep coming up here, and it's interesting because I did mention the sleep before. I do think this person may always complain that they're a little bit tired, but I do think there's somebody who needs a lot less sleep than the average person. It does look like this person has had their heart broken in a previous relationship. They may verbalise this to you. I do think they've gone through a phase of healing after this relationship, and I think it's this phase which has brought them to the point where they've realised unhealthy habits that they had. I do think that their last person had to deal with them at their worst, I actually want to say, and you're going to deal with them at their best. They've learned the lessons and they've done the work before they meet you, which is very lucky. 4-leaf clover. And I do also think that this person can be considered very lucky, but I did say before, and I'm sure I did, that they're very happy-go-lucky as well. I sense an optimism with this person. This is somebody who's like, everything is always going to work out. But they've got such a strong energy and such a strong drive and vibe that they attract a lot of good and positive things to them. I do want to say with this person, if they stay in a positive mindset, they do attract a lot of good things. But if they ever go into more of a negative mindset, because nobody's perfect, and sometimes we do always have blips, and we can have like little bouts of depression, I do think you need to make it aware to this person that in those moments, chance they could attract negative things. There's something about their energy being very kinetic, okay? So whatever they think will normally happen, they may experience a lot of synchronicities as well. I don't see this as being the most spiritual of people. I actually do see this person being a bit more of a materialist, but they know that there is a little something going on behind the scenes. As I said in your letter, you could call it manifestation. So they're aware of manifestation and things like that. And I do think they are somebody who's going to discuss with you the fact that they do have a lot of synchronicities and the fact that they have manifested a lot in their lifetime, but they just don't necessarily know how they do it. I don't feel like this is somebody who's read The Secret, for instance, but this is most certainly somebody who's heard about manifestation and those kind of concepts. Something around you being very cheeky as well. They like the fact that you are so cheeky. Okay, so we have got a same gender relationship here. I don't know whether they've got a sibling who's homosexual or lesbian. You could find that they do. I don't know whether you do. I don't know whether you are both bi, or whether you're bi, or whether they're bi. We've also got the shocked monkey here, and I do think it's because this person may have a lot of shocking stories to tell you. I do think they've had a very colourful past. So yes, expect some shocking stories from this person, but again, I think this is in the bedroom as well. They're going to shock you in the bedroom. They're going to want you to do things to them that you're just like, oh, okay, I've never tried this before. I never thought I'd have to try this in my life, but okay, we're going to go there. And then we have the muscly arm, and I do think this is pertaining to their athleticism. This is somebody who does like to keep fit. This could be somebody who does a lot of outdoor sports, but they could easily do classes in the gym as well. I'm sensing classes in the gym very, very strongly. Not for all of you, but I don't know whether some of you actually meet this person in a gym class. And we've got dancing. They may mention that they danced a lot in their youth. They may mention that they were a dancer. They may actually be a dancer, or they may just really enjoy dancing as a hobby. Okay, so I also want to roll the Kama Sutra dice and just throw out there some of their favourite positions and things to do. We've got you choose. Now, I did get a very laid back energy from your future spouse within the letter, because they did say that they like to dominate and they like to be dominated, which makes me feel like this is somebody who's okay to try anything. This could actually be someone who's like a Libra rising. They could even be like a Libra sun as well. Okay, I've got the Libra energy coming through now. I don't know whether you're Libra or you have heavy Libra energy, but there's something around them being like, hey, like whatever goes in the bedroom. XXX, that literally just pertains to the fact that they are kinky. They are like shockingly experimental in the bedroom, okay? We do also have the number 11 here, okay? So look out for the number 11 before they arrive. You may find that you see a lot of 1111s before they enter your life, or they may say that they saw 1111 before you entered their life. Now we have them picking you up here. Or is it standing? They're standing. And the lady's got a leg up here. Okay, I do think this means that they are willing to take you whenever and wherever. They don't need to wait until you guys get home to take you. They don't really mind doing it in the car and it being in a fairly public place. I do think this is the energy of them just being like, look, when the feeling takes me, I want to take you. And then we have a very bizarre position here. I don't know whether you can see this. Am I showing you the right thing there? Can you see that? I don't know whether I'm supposed to be using my imagination here and that the man is actually sitting on a bed. I mean, I've never done this position in my entire life. But it could also be the fact that he's standing up and then the woman has her back to him and her legs wrapped round him. And yeah, her hands are behind and he's holding her hands for support. It's an interesting position, guys. I'm going to show you that again because I really don't know how to describe it. But that is just a sign. Can you see it? Can you see it? Is it zoomed in properly? But that is just a sign that your future spouse is somebody who's very experimental. They'll show you positions that you've never tried before. And they've shown me that by showing me a position that I've never tried before and that I didn't know existed. Okay, let's gather some charms. And then let's get the last bit of information from the tarot. Okay. Now with the bear here, I'm gathering that your future spouse is somebody who is very independent. I do think this is like a little bit of a lone wolf kind of energy, okay? When I think about the bear, I do think about somebody who's very hardworking, somebody who's very independent, somebody who can take care of themselves. Okay, so I think they may have actually been single for quite a long time before you meet them. I do also have the prince here with the crown, so I don't know whether they come from quite a wealthy background or quite a well-known background or a well-to-do background. I'd also think this could be pertaining to this person being kind of mid-range when it comes to their career, okay? They're not like CEO status, but they're not kind of like at admin status either. This could be somebody who's working up the ladder when it comes to their career and somebody who's had a lot of acknowledgements when it comes to their career. I do want to say this could also be somebody who in their teens, they may have won awards. I'm seeing like tennis awards, I'm seeing football awards, I'm seeing cricket awards. Okay, I'm not saying that they did all of those sports, but it's going to be different for all of you. But I'm just giving you the idea that you may find when you meet their parents, for instance, they may say, oh, you know, did you know that your future spouse used to play football and they won all of these awards? And they may show you like pictures and things like that. Okay, for some of you, this could be somebody who was pursuing a career within fitness and then they had an injury and then now they do something else. And then we have the angel with the horn, which does make me think that this person not only has a loud voice, because I did mention this previously, but I do think this is somebody who, I mean, this also relates to them speaking as a career, being very motivational as a career. But I do also want to put out there that this could be somebody, and I don't want to put people off here because I think this has only been the only negative thing that's came up in this reading. But I do think this person could be a little bit of a gossip. They could be the kind of person that you don't tell a secret to because they're going to tell someone else. Now, I don't necessarily think that that is what they're going to do to you, but you may notice it with their friends. Their friends may tell them very deep secrets and then they come to you and just tell you everything. And then they come to you the next day and they say, oh my God, I told Bob it as well. And you're like, no, you're not supposed to tell people secrets. Like, it's very jovial, it's nothing serious. But I think you may have to explain to them and say, look, if somebody tells you something like in confidentiality, you keep it confidential. Okay, and I can sense that this person works very, very hard with toil and labour, and they've got imprisonment here as well in house. And I do think this person works very, very hard. I do think they're somebody who earns a decent amount of money. I do get the sense that they live in a house on their own at the moment. They have their own place. And I do think they have to work very hard to keep this house. I don't know if this is somebody who has a very, very, very nice house to the point where it's kind of like you don't need that house just for you. You could have got a smaller house or you could have got a house that's in a less prestigious area, but they do have to work very hard to keep that house. I do sense that your future spouse is looking for somebody to kind of like, you know, calm the bills down a bit with. I'm not saying that they're going to meet you and they're going to say like, right, everything's half and half now, but I do think they do want somebody around to take off the pressure, whether that be a little bit of taking off a little bit of financial pressure or maybe taking off a little bit of like the housework pressure as well. I do want to say this house could be quite big as well. It's a lot of cleaning for them to do as just one person, or you may find that this person has a cleaner and they have a gardener, which does make me think that this person could be a very busy person, so they don't have the time to do those kind of things themselves. I can see in the back of this house card here a building that looks a little bit like a section of the White House. So I don't know whether this person, just there, no, it's there, it's that side. Sorry, the ring light isn't allowing me to show you this very easily. This person could work for the government or have a government-based job as well. Now this is somebody who's very materialistic and they are somewhat imprisoned by their materialism. They work themselves to the bone, they use up all of their last bit of energy to be successful because they have expensive tastes. And I do think you come in and you show them, it does make me think it's part of this heartbreak that they previously had. You've came in and they've like used money to kind of soften the blow from their previous heartbreak, and you come in and you soften them again. You show them that there's more to life than materialism, there's more to life than money, and the best things in life are free. I do think that your future spouse is someone who's very adventurous, but I do think you're going to come along and you're going to show them how to have adventures in life which are free as well. So they may spend a lot of money on holidays, traveling, experiences, and you come in and you show them that you don't always have to spend a lot of money to experience and have fun in life. Okay, you guys may go on your own little adventure, your own little camping adventure on your own, where you just camp in the woods randomly, have a barbecue in the woods and things like that, okay? Something about you being very close to nature, something about you being very natural by nature, and something about you understanding like the deeper meaning in life, and that money isn't the be all and end all. I don't know whether you're somebody who has money and you've realised like money doesn't make you happy, it's connections that makes you happy. I did hear something recently about a study that was made. I may butcher the actual statistics up here, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. So they took, I think it was like 100 boys. 50 of them were from Boston, from like low income families, and then the other 50 were from like high income families, and they followed these boys throughout their lifetimes. And throughout the study they found that the men who gained success, the men who gained financial stability, weren't as happy as the men who found true love. There was something around love, something around relationships, something around connections that really boosts a person's immune system, and it makes them physically healthier and emotionally happier, when money doesn't have that same effect on a person. And I think that's something that you've realised over the years. This may be something that you come in and you teach your future spouse. But your future spouse is definitely ready for their Queen of Cups here. They're the King of Wands, you're the Queen of Cups. I can see here that your future spouse is attracted to people who are of like an opposite element to them. Because here for them we've got fire, we've got action, we've got energy. And with the Queen of Cups, she's a lot more slow, magnetic, takes her time, soft. So I do think they are looking for somebody a little bit different to them. I do think you do still mirror each other physically. You do have a lot of similarities when it comes to your physicalities. But when it comes to your energies, don't be put off by the fact that they're like loud and brash and quick and highly energetic. Because they're actually looking for somebody to calm them down. They're actually really craving the opposite. Because there's something about you guys, you're going to balance each other out. I don't know whether this is going to be a twin flame connection here between you both, but you meet in the middle. They give you a bit of their fire, and it gives you a little bit more lust for life. It makes you like move when it comes to certain goals that you may have that you haven't worked on yet, or you haven't moved towards yet, and you calm them down a little bit. You help them feel a little bit less anxious when it comes to life. You show them that they don't need to move so fast all of the time. They don't need to be so impatient all of the time. And I think that's really beautiful. Okay, pile number one, I'm going to leave that there. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped in some way. If you like this reading, please drop it a like and comment down below if you have anything to say at all. And if you do like content like this, be sure to subscribe, because otherwise you will not know when I post a brand new pick a card reading. Take care of yourselves, pile number one, and I shall see you next time. Hello there, fabulous pile number two, and welcome to your reading. I want to start this reading by delving into your SEXE channel letter from your future spouse, and then I want to see whether I can gather any extra interesting and juicy information using the tarot, the charms, and the dice. So let me take a deep breath in and out, because I am about to read your letter. If we're not laughing and smiling in the bedroom, we're doing something wrong. Do you agree? Your energy makes me feel like I'm floating on air. Your voice, your vibe, your beauty is like a DRUG. I do feel like a part of me is missing when you're not around, and that's why I can't keep my hands off you when you are around. You're the most cute and beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I love taking photos and videos of you to capture your candid beauty, clothed and unclothed. When you're not around, I look at your image and instantly heat up. You're my muse, my fantasy, and my icon. Everyone knows I'm obsessed with you. I can't help but share my attraction for you. I even show strangers I meet when out and about how beautiful you are, flashing the image of you on my phone wallpaper. People can be jealous of us, but it's only because they want what we've got. I respect you so much. I treat your body with so much care. And it's you who likes to beg me to pull your hair and leave my mark on you. It's fun, we laugh, I give you exactly what you need in those moments, even if momentarily I have to view you as my dirty little fill in the blank instead of my princess. You're actually very mischievous, and that only makes me love you more. Whenever my hands fall to your hips, I just want to thrust deep and hard, especially when we're out in public. I love how you make everyone stare. I love how I get to see all of you and they only get to imagine. Please allow me to love you and take care of you for the rest of our lives. Okay, pile number 2. Now, when I tapped into your future spouse's energy, there was a softness with your future spouse and a very strong emotional maturity. It does make me think that this person could be more mature, but I definitely sense that this person has been through some emotional stuff, whether this be through a previous relationship or whether this be in their childhood. This is the kind of person who is always going to be a very strong support system for you. And this is also the kind of person who will fiercely fight your corner in any situation. And I want to say, even blindly, even if you are wrong in a situation, this is the kind of person who's going to stick up for you no matter what. I do feel like this person either has kids or does want to have kids. There is a level of like clinginess with this person, but I don't necessarily think it's anything like too overwhelming. I just sense that this person is always going to want to be touching you, is always going to want to be holding your hand, is always going to be wanting shows of like physical and emotional affection from you. But I do sense, because you have chosen pile number 2, that you are also somebody who is very much of the same kind of energy as your future spouse, somebody who doesn't necessarily mind showing their affection on a regular basis. With you in particular, I'm getting a lot of Libra energy, I'm getting a lot of Cancerian energy. I do sense you being somebody who's very nostalgic by nature, and I do sense your future spouse being somebody who's very nostalgic by nature, and I don't know why that's coming up, but it is. You may be somebody who likes to create memories. I can definitely see from this message that your future spouse is also somebody who likes to create memories by taking videos and pictures, whether they be tame or whether they be dirty. Okay, now I did channel some extra information as well as the letter. So I'm going to go through that information now. Now, the song I channeled for you guys, pile number 2, is Brandy, Have You Ever? And when I channeled that song, I was like, Spirit, have you ever what? Give me the rest of the title. And nothing else came through, so I was like, screw it, I'm going to put it into YouTube, and Brandy came up, and I was like, I know it's Brandy, because I love Brandy. I'm always listening to Brandy in my car. Even my son knows who Brandy is, and he's 5 years old because of how often I listen to Brandy, although I'd never ever heard this song. So you guys have Brandy, Have You Ever? And I really do feel like this song came through because your future spouse does fear losing you. They're always going to fear losing you. They love you so much, they care about you so much, they're so devoted to you. It would pain them so much to ever lose you. And I do think it's this clinginess coming through again. They are somebody who is going to want emotional reassurance from you, but as I said, I do not think you're against that. I do not think you're the type of energy that would struggle with that. I do also feel like they fall in love with you before you fall in love with them. And again, you know, it's just the fact that they have this like love at first sight. When they see you, when they meet you, they are hooked from the get-go. And I just think it takes you a little longer to feel comfortable to give your all to this. And I do also think it's because you know that if you give your all to this person, that is it for life. Like, this person is never going to want to let you go. And even though I don't think you sense this consciously when you first meet them, I think your spirit and your soul and your energy senses this. So it's like, you've got to be really sure when you say that you want to be with this person, when you say that you want to marry this person, because this person isn't going to ever want to let you go. And again, you know, I don't think this person traps you. I don't think it's anything energetic like that. I just think there's an empathy there for this person. You'd never want to break this person's heart. So as I said before, you know, this person never wants to lose you. They fear losing you. They're going to do everything in their power to keep you as happy as possible. And I do think you reciprocate that because you have the empathy there. You never want to hurt your future spouse either. And I do feel that there may be a level of distance between you, and that maybe you guys live at distance from each other, or whether one of you is just required to work away every now and then as a job, because there's pain here when you two are apart. And I do think it is because you are so strongly emotionally connected that when you are apart, you guys can really, really feel it. Like, it literally feels like you've lost an arm when you guys are apart. But I do think you handle it better than they handle it. I think it hurts you when you're apart. You know, you miss them deeply, and, you know, at night you'll be calling them saying, oh, do you know what, I just wish you were here to give me a big, massive hug. But I think for them, it's actually painstaking. I think they actually lose sleep when you're not around. I think they're generally like, I cannot cope with life when my beautiful pile number 2 is not around me. And I do think they struggle SE actually to be apart from you as well, which does make me think that this person could be very highly SE actual, and when you're apart, like, they just get so kind of like, they just want you, they just want to have you, and they can't have you. I do sense this person having very deep set eyes, and I did get the word comical come through. It was just very blatant. Spirit just said comical. So I put in brackets here dad jokes, because I do think that they do have that dad jokey kind of energy. Their jokes may be very sarcastic as well. Now I also get Scorpio energy for your future spouse, Cancer energy, Pisces energy, and Leo energy, because I was getting very watery energy from your future spouse, but there's like an underlying passion there, which is where the Leo energy was coming in. I do sense this person is an introverted extrovert, so they're a mix of introvert and extrovert. They may come across as an introvert a lot of the time, but they will come out their shell at times and shock you. And I do think this could actually be where this comical comes into play now. This could be somebody who really lights up when they're telling jokes. In a normal conversation, they may be very introverted. They may be somebody of very few words. They may be somebody who likes to shy away from social situations. But as soon as they are getting the attention on them, as soon as they have the freedom to like be comical and tell a few jokes, they really come out of their shell and they really turn into this very like elaborate and larger than life extrovert. So I think there's no knowing which person you're going to get when you go out for socials. And I do think the introvert side of them is very nice, very polite, very personable. So it's not somebody who you're going to be embarrassed by. They're just a lot more kind of cool, calm, and kind of happy to be like a bit of a wallflower. And then you could go to other social events depending on the energy, where they literally just come out of their shell and they're the star of the show. Now I do sense that this person is very financially successful. They are somebody who holds SHIT down. I do sense I do sense an age gap between you guys, okay? It doesn't have to be for everybody, but I do sense a bit of an age gap. For some of you, this may be quite a broad age gap in either direction, okay? I do sense that they could be older than you, but we could easily have this the other way around as well. I do think you're both very busy with career when you guys meet. It could be that you guys meet whilst working, and your future spouse is very soft on the outside, but they're an animal when they're provoked. And I do think this is relevant to that introverted extrovert kind of energy I was picking up on previously. This is somebody who'll be very soft and very kind and very nice, but if anyone shows them any form of aggression or competition, that animal's going to come out. But I do also want to say that this is in the bedroom as well, where if you push them to be a little bit more fierce in the bedroom, this animal is going to come out of nowhere and you're going to be like, whoa. Like, they could be like a bit of like a good boy or a good girl, but when they play the bad boy or the bad girl, they do a very, very good job at it. Okay, pile number 2, let's see if we can get any initials for this person. Okay, that will do. Thank you. Okay. Now, I do have Y here at the bottom of the deck, so we're going to throw Y in here with this as well, just because it's showing on camera. So we have 0 or O. Okay, you can call this an O, you can call this a 0. We have the letter J. We have the number 4. We have the letter L. We have another 0 or O. Okay, interchange that if you like. And we have an E. Okay. Now, this person could be a life path number 4. It could be a number that means something to you or a number that means something to them. I don't know whether you've been seeing 4s a lot lately, but yeah, they could be a life path number 4. You could be a life path number 4. 4 could be their lucky number, 4 could be their house number, or vice versa. Okay, and I'm also going to look at the symbolism as well on the back of these. Okay, so we have an angry devil, and I do think this is clarification to say that when this person is poked, they can turn into a little bit of a devil. Okay, so looks can be deceiving when it comes to this person. Do not push this person. This person is kind, but they have their limits. Okay, we also have the shocked monkey face. So the monkey does have its hands over its mouth, so I do think this person could leave you speechless at times. I do think this is in a good way. I think it's in a very romantic way, actually. I think this person will do a lot of unexpected romantic things for you and leave you speechless. Or when this person is provoked and that animal comes out, whether this be in public or whether this be in the bedroom, I do think it's going to leave you very speechless, just like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this person had it in them. And again, not in a bad way, not like, oh my gosh, I didn't think this person had it in them. More like, whoa, I didn't expect them to have this fiery kind of layer to them. As I said, they're very watery on the outside, but there's some fire and passion burning on the inside. We have burger here, so it's as simple as potentially your favourite food is burgers or their favourite food is burgers. I don't know whether either of you have ever worked at like a burger bar or something like that, and you'll talk about the days where you used to work at the burger bar. We've got another shocked face here. Do you know what? I'm getting an Essie-actual energy coming off this one. You may be somebody who doesn't consider yourself a moaner in the bedroom or very vocal in the bedroom. I think this person will do something to you and you'll actually, or they'll make you moan like you've never moaned before. With all this water energy that this person has, they are going to be so good in the bedroom. They are going to be so good when it comes to like oral and things like that. We've got the engagement ring, of course. You know, this is a future spouse reading. But I do think they are going to be somebody who in particular likes to gift you things. They like to gift you jewellery. They may like to gift you very expensive gifts, quality gifts, the kind of gifts that will last a lifetime. Okay, maybe you'll have an engagement ring that has elements of like blue in there and green in there. So is that sapphire and emeralds? Maybe you like sapphires, maybe you like emeralds, maybe that's your birthstone, or either one of those are your birthstones. Okay, and we have this little dude here with the sunglasses. Little dude with the sunglasses, what do we see here? I want to say this could literally just be an emoji that they like to use a lot. Maybe this is somebody, when you first meet them, they're wearing sunglasses. Maybe this is somebody who does live in a hotter climate and they like to wear sunglasses, or they need to wear sunglasses. I want to say this person could have prescription sunglasses as well. Okay, I'm going to roll the Kama Sutra dice, see if we can get any information around their Essie-actuality a bit more, whether we can pull out any positions they like or anything in particular that they like. So we've got kiss and below the navel, and that straight up is giving me that oral vibes again. Okay, the O-R-A-L vibes. I do think this person is going to like to like kiss you all over your body, but there is something around them wanting to kind of like just be down there at all flipping times. And I do think it's this in particular that's going to make you like moan very loudly. I do want to say for this pile, maybe you've never had anyone who's made you OG from doing that before, or maybe you've never had anyone who's actually been so good at it that you've been vocal before, but this person is going to be able to cross that boundary with you and you're going to be like, woo, yes. Okay, and we've got the oral here again with a number 23. Okay, so I don't know whether the number 23 means something to you, 2323, whether you've seen 2323. Something very creative about that number, but it's creative in partnership. Okay, it's about partners being creative with the number 2 and the number 3 there. But they love it when you give them head as well. There's just something about aura with this person. They just absolutely love giving you it and they love receiving it. And we have the doggy position here as well. And I do think that they really enjoy that particular position when you're asking them to be a little bit more rough. It's like the oral is for them and the doggy is for you. It's a great position where they can like pull your hair, have a little bit of like slap and tickle is what I'm going to call it. And also a way that they can kind of like kiss, bite, scratch. I just sense like you're the one who's like, and they think, hell yes. I think they feel more comfortable to be more rough with you when they're doing you from behind as well. I think when they're looking into your eyes in particular, they struggle to be rough with you. They struggle to be mean with you because they just have so much love and care and empathy for you. But when you're turned over, they can just go a little bit wild with it. Like they have less inhibitions. When you're not staring at them, they're not looking into those beautiful angelic eyes. So they can be a little bit more rough with you when they're doing it from behind. So I think it could also be a bit of a confidence thing there as to why they like to do you from behind when you ask them to be a little bit more animalistic in the bedroom. All right then, let's get some charms. Oh, okay, so we've got Sun here. So I don't know whether your future spouse already has a child. I think I mentioned the fact that they may have a child already or they may want children. And we have the Bear. So this is somebody who's going to be very single when you meet them. This is somebody who's going to have been single for a little while. I want to say this is somebody, I got the same thing for pole number 1 as well. I do think this is somebody who's very independent on their own, but I do also get the Bear energy as somebody who is like a big, cuddly bear. I think they're somebody who can keep you so warm in winter and make you feel so safe in their energy. And as I look at the Bear, I'm actually sensing 2 kids. So I think they may have 1 kid and I think you guys may have another kid together. At least 1 more child together. And I do want to say, it does look like they've been through a divorce or a very serious breakup. It does look like they've been through a lot of crap because of a previous relationship. If we're looking at somebody who is looking for a masculine here, with you a man looking for a man or a female looking for a man, I do want to say there's a very, very stern woman here who's hurt this person. As I said previously, this could be a mother, okay? It could be a family member. It doesn't have to be a previous relationship for everybody, but in particular, I do think for a lot of people, this person has left a relationship where the woman was very cold, very icy, very demanding. And I think when it came to the breakup or the divorce, okay, going to be different for everybody, it was harsh and they went through a lot. And I do think this may be why they've been single for a very long time before they meet you, because they just never felt comfortable to be with another person just in case they get hurt again. But it's also why they're so like clingy with you. It's like, I cannot go through that kind of loss again. I think this woman as well is very narcissistic and very manipulative. And if your future spouse has had a child with this woman, she is going to be around. Not all the time, just as much as like just as much as a parent to somebody's child would be. But she will act very warm. She will act very kind of inviting, like the Queen of Wands, but underneath it all, she's the Queen of Swords. Do not trust this woman, is something I want to say. If this is somebody that you are involved with, if you know who this person is already, or if this is somebody that you will meet and you do realise that this is their situation and there is like a mother in the picture, or there is a parent to your future spouse's child in the picture, they are not as warm as they seem. They're very cold, calculating, and sharp on the inside. So don't confide in this person. You can very much have like a nice relationship with this person. It doesn't have to be war between you guys. But I just want to say and throw out there, don't tell this person anything personal about you or anything personal about your relationship in particular. Okay, because there's a harshness underneath here. But other than that, I do sense that you and your future spouse have had a past life together before. I do think when you meet each other, it's going to feel like home. When you meet each other, you're just going to naturally feel very comfortable with one another. Your bond with this person is a lot stronger than any bond that they've ever had with anyone previously. You are their soulmate. So, so strongly. It is you, and it is only you who is the perfect match to your future spouse. Of course, if things didn't work out, they could find somebody else and they could still be happy, but you two are that perfect match. And believe me, your future spouse is going to know it, which is why they're not going to want to let go of you at any cost whatsoever. Okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave that there. I really hope this reading helped in some way. I hope you enjoyed it. If it did help and you did enjoy it, please drop me a like and drop me a comment if you feel comfortable to do so. Let me know whether you resonate. Let me know whether you've already met this person. Let me know whether this sounds like the kind of person you've always imagined your future spouse to be. And be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It really helps the channel grow and it helps me bring more videos like this your way. So take care of yourself, guys, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye. Part number 3, what's good, what's poppin'? Hey there, beautiful, welcome to your reading. Now I want to start off your reading by delving into your channeled SE letter from your future spouse, and then I want to gather some extra juicy and interesting information using the tarot, the charms, and the dice. But first, I'm going to to clear my throat because I am about to read you your letter. Nah. It ain't fair you got me feeling like this. I thought I had it all under control, and then this angel walks in and makes me rethink. I had to change the game and you came through. I never thought it was possible to be this hot. When we're in bed, I'll be making sounds I didn't even know existed. You're different to the rest. It's your booty and waist for me. When you ride on top and switch from front to back, I find it impossible not to blow. I'm bad and I bite. The way you handle me is so impressive. I'm too much for most, but I love how you showed up and became my competition. The way you switch up your look drives me wild. You always serve up something new. You got me looking like I got 5 wives. But when we're private, I prefer you to take it all off. I like to take you when you're raw and natural. It's your innocent beauty that gets me nasty. I like to dominate, what can I say? I love it when we argue and make up. In these moments, I like to go extra hard and deep. Open those curtains, baby, because the neighbours are going to want to see this. It does scare me how addicted I am to you, though. I'm someone who needs to be in control, and I can't control my attraction or feelings towards you. I'll never admit this, but I really do fear you're going to hurt me or leave, which is why I'm always going to pleasure you like I know no other could. Stay mine, I love you. Now, when I tapped into your future spouse's energy, I did get like strong alpha. Whether this be a male or a female, this is like an alpha male or an alpha female. This is somebody who feels so much more comfortable when they're in control. I do think this could be somebody who has previously had some kind of fight within their life, whether this be fight with siblings, parents, at school, friends, because they've had to kind of build this really strong exterior, even though underneath they are very human and they have like the regular fears that most of us other human beings have. I do feel like this person is extremely sensual, but they're very dominating with their sensuality. I do also feel like this person has a very natural beauty and they are somebody who does get attention. Now, I did channel some extra information as well as the letter, and I will go through this now. So the song that I got for you guys is Britney Spears' Toxic, which is an absolute classic. And I did notice in that video, because I did rewatch it today when the channeling came through, that Britney Spears within that video changes her look a lot. 1 minute she's got like her blonde hair, then she's got her red hair, then she's got her black hair. And it does make me think that there could be something around you changing your look a lot. Maybe you dye your hair a lot, maybe you wear different coloured hair wigs, or maybe you literally just like to switch it all up at all times. Maybe you like to kind of play dress up when it comes to your style. But I do think this song also came through because you guys have a very dangerous sexual attraction to one another, where at times you may call it toxic, because even if you are ultimately peeved off with your future spouse, they just come in, they touch you in a certain way, or even just look at you in a certain way and you're all theirs, and vice versa. It's like, I don't want you when you annoy me, but I just cannot resist you. But it's also the chemical reaction between you guys. It is so flipping strong that nothing is gonna get in the way of you two in the bedroom. And of course, we did mention this within the letter, that your future spouse does have a fear that you're going to hurt them. But your future spouse just really feels uncomfortable because you have so much control over them because of your appearance, your vibe, your energy, and of course, that very strong sexual chemical reaction between you both. Now, your future spouse does like leather. They like a bit of bondage. And again, they do like a bit of dress up as well, which is something that I honestly feel in your energy that you really enjoy and you love. Role play is coming through here as well. So I don't know whether you enjoy role playing, whether you like to be like the sexy secretary or the nurse. I mean, they're all very cringy, aren't they? Or whether you like to be like the Russian masseuse. That's one of my favourite ones. I shouldn't really be saying stuff like this, should I? But yeah, your future spouse has very strong Scorpio vibes, Taurus vibes, Virgo vibes, and Capricorn vibes. Now with you guys, I feel Leo, I feel Gemini, and I do feel a bit of Cancer energy there as well. But bear in mind that this could be vice versa. Now, I couldn't get Tyson Beckford's head out of my mind, and it was actually that came before the song. I saw, if you don't know who Tyson Beckford is, make sure you do Google it, okay? He's a model, slash actor, I believe, and he's been in so many music videos, including Britney Spears' Toxic, Unbreak My Heart. He's been in that one as well. I think he's been in a recent video of Lizzo's, maybe, and I'm sure they snogged in that video. So yeah, Tyson Beckford's face came through first, and then I started hearing the dun 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 from Toxic. So yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. But Tyson Beckford came through, so I don't know whether your person is a masculine and they have very similar features to Tyson Beckford, or whether it's just the agelessness and the timelessness of Tyson Beckford. Because think about how long ago Toni Braxton Unbreak My Heart was, when he was in that video. And then you see him in like Lizzo's video and he has barely aged. It's absolutely crazy. It's actually borderline alien, to be honest with you. But yeah, Tyson Beckford came through as well. So I also got with your future spouse that they use a lot of sounds to express themselves. And one in particular that I heard, and I don't want to mess it up because I've never said this in my life or used this sound in my life, but it was like, sheesh. That comes through a lot with them. So I don't know whether they just use a lot of sounds to express themselves. And also they're more physically expressive than verbally expressive. So they may give a lot away when it comes to like their facial expressions or the sounds that they use or their body language. And they may be somebody who is very filtered when it comes to the words that they use, the things that they say. Okay, they could have like a Virgo Mercury, for instance, where they feel like everything that comes out of their mouth needs to be perfected or needs to be perfection. So they don't tend to say things that don't need saying. They could also be a Taurus Mercury as well, so bear that in mind. Very Earth Mercury with this person. You may know this person, so you may be able to pull out the fact that they have an Earth Mercury. But yes, they won't say any more than needs to be said, but their body language gives it all away. Big Daddy vibes is coming through. Okay, this is somebody who's very, very protective of you. There's somebody who may even like it when you call them daddy. And I get them being very tall and broad and muscular. Now, if they're a female, they could be like quite a big boned female and somebody who is a little bit taller than the average female. And then when it comes to their emotions, they're very private. This is somebody who won't want to talk about your private emotional stuffs in public, and also they might get a little bit upset if you talk about private things with other people. I think potentially there's an element of some things need to stay between us. Like they have this very strong kind of like it's us against the world kind of energy, and I think there's certain things they don't feel comfortable if it's shared outside of the relationship. So I'm going to see whether we can pull out any initials here for you guys. Bear in mind, these initials could be your initials, these initials could be their initials, it could be your first name, second name, middle name, or vice versa. There's as well. We do also have numbers that come out as well, so the numbers may mean something to you also. Ooh, 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 ooh. We've got a T that's came out for Tyson. So yeah, your person could be called Tyson. So we have the number 3, the number 8, the letter R. We have the letter I. Oh, we've got 2 things there, sorry. Letter F, letter S, and the letter T for Tyson. Okay, so we could be looking at the number 38 meaning something to you. You could live at a number 38. They could live at a number 38. It could be a life path number 3 or a life path number 8, or they could be either one of those life path numbers. 3 could be your lucky number, 8 could be your lucky number, or vice versa. Okay, and as I said, we've got an R, we've got the I, we've got the F, the S, and the T. Now I'm also going to look at the symbols which are on the other side of these cards as well and see whether they mean anything to you. Okay, I love these symbols, they're also positive. Oh yes, good stuff. Okay, so firstly you've got the unicorn, which really tells me that I don't think you believe that a love like this can exist. Now it could be like the affection between the relationship, or it could be that very strong SE actual compatibility that you've never had with anyone else and you genuinely didn't know that it existed, because the love that you guys have, or the connection that you guys have, is something that I want to say is only seen in movies. And everyone says, oh, you only see that kind of sex in movies, or you only see that kind of romance in movies, but you get to have that in real life. We've got a star here as well, which does make me think that potentially there's some form of manifestation going on between you both. Maybe you're manifesting them, maybe they're manifesting you right now. Maybe you're wishing upon a star for this person. I do want to say that you guys could see a shooting star, and I do want to say, if you want to meet your future spouse, when you see that shooting star, wish upon that shooting star for your future spouse. Peace here, the peace sign. I do think your future spouse brings in a phase of peace for you, a chapter of peace. I don't know whether you're watching this and potentially your life isn't the most peaceful at the moment, but this is a sign for you to say peace is on the way when you meet this person. We've got the flower here as well, and it does make me think that potentially you are going to really bloom when you meet this person as well. I do think this person can be quite pushy at times, and I do think this person is always going to push you towards being your best self and reaching all of your goals, and I do think that you may push yourself or be pushed a little bit more than usual within this relationship and really find yourself, and yeah, you really start to express yourself and your beauty within this relationship. Your future spouse is someone who really bigs you up. I can feel that so strongly. There's somebody who's just like, yes, this is my person, look how gorgeous you are. It could be very much with sounds like sheesh when you walk in the room. Okay, we've also got the stop sign here as well. I don't know whether there is anybody in your life who crosses your boundaries. And it may be a situation that you really strongly want to get away from. I'm gonna hiccup. Maybe it may be a situation where you wish that you had a protector, or you wish that you had a bodyguard, or you wish that you had someone to tell this person to back off. Because I genuinely feel with this stop sign here, your future spouse comes in and they put a stop to whatever this is. If anyone tries to mess with you, if anyone tries to say a bad word about you, if anyone tries to manipulate you, your future spouse comes in and they're like, no, sorry, you cannot get to my beautiful part number 3. The emoji with the heart for the eyes. Guys, it is love at first sight. It is that chemical reaction between you both. It's just instant. And thumbs up. I think this is a sign that their family are going to give this person the thumbs up. Your family are going to give this person, their family are going to give you the thumbs up. Your family are going to give them the thumbs up. And I do really feel like your friends and their friends as well are all going to give this relationship a big, massive thumbs up. I do feel like everyone's going to really celebrate your relationships. If you're somebody who's worried that maybe your family won't be into your future spouse or approve of them, or whether their family won't approve of you or things like that, and like you really want like your friends to approve of them, you want to bring them within your friends group and stuff like that. Yes, everyone is going to be so supportive of this connection between you and your future spouse. I really do see you guys being a very social couple. You do a lot socially together, you share a lot of friends, and I think that's absolutely beautiful, because surely that's what we all want, right? Okay, let's roll the Kama Sutra dice and let's see if we can get some extra information about like what kind of positions they like and just stuff that they like in the bedroom. Ooh, lick and neck. So I think they really liked, I said they're sensual, very, very sensual. They may like their neck licked, kissed, bitten, but they also like to do that to you. It's that Taurus energy coming through here, the sensuality. They're not the kind of person to just kind of like bish, bash, bosh, get it done. They're the kind of person that want multiple things going on at once. They want to give you a full experience. So for instance, if you're looking for a masculine, they want to be inside you whilst they're kissing that neck, caressing your hair, whilst they've got soft music playing, a scented candle over in the corner of the room. They want to like set up like a whole vibe when you guys do it. So you get like a little bit extra when you're in bed with this person. And position wise, we have got 2 girls here doing the scissors. So we could be looking at a same sex couple, but we could also be looking at your future spouse having a fancy about watching you and another girl do it. Oh, and we've got just flat out missionary here. And I love missionary. because missionary is the most intimate position you can do. It's the position where you can look into each other's eyes. It's the position where you can properly reach each other. It's the position where you can keep going and kissing. It's just the best position. And call me boring, but I absolutely adore missionary. And I do think it's because your future spouse is very, very sensual. I'm going to take another look at this scissors position here, because it's not two females. It's a female and a masculine here. Okay, so this could be, you know, two females. It could be the fact that they have a fancy about you and another female. But I've mistaken one of the legs, I think a calf in particular, for the hair of the masculine. But yeah, it's a scissors position, but obviously, you know, done with insertion. Okay. Now, let's gather some charms. Oh my gosh, every single pile has had the bear. I'm just going to get one more charm for you guys. I feel like there's a little bit more. And the crown. Okay, first up with the crown, this person is daddy, this person is king. They will always want to be treated like king. This is somebody who is very masculine by nature in relationships. They are going to want their feminine or their partner, okay, in general, whoever is the one who is taking the more feminine role, they are going to want them to, you know, look good, smell good, cook well. This is somebody who wants to take care of their person. This could be somebody who wants you to be a stay-at-home partner. This is most certainly somebody who does want to have children as well. Maybe a little bit later in life though. I don't think this is somebody who's going to push you for children. If you meet them later in life, then yes, they may be ready for children within a couple of years. But if you meet them when they're in like their 20s or something like that, they may want to wait until they're like later 30s to have children. I just think they want to achieve certain goals before they actually do have children, because they're somebody who wants to be looked up to and they want their children to look up to them as like a superhero. And we've got the angel with the horn. So I do think that this is somebody who naturally does have quite a loud voice. They're not a massive talker, but I genuinely think they have quite a loud and booming voice. Their voice particularly stands out. It makes me think that a normal person would have to shout to have the same volume as they have within their voice when they just speak. And we have the bear. This is somebody who is very, very independent. This could be somebody, and I've said this for every single pile, who could have been single for quite some time before they meet you. I do think this is somebody who even thought that they were going to be alone for the rest of their lives because they had such high expectations for who their future spouse was going to be. And what's amazing, pile number 3, is that you guys meet those expectations. And like I said for pile number 2, when I pulled the bear for them as well, this person is also like a big cuddly bear. This is somebody who can keep you warm on like the coldest of winter nights. I don't know whether there's a connection to Canada here, because I'm hearing Canada coming through. I don't know whether you live in Canada, whether they live in Canada, or whether you want to move to Canada at some point. Okay. Now, with the expectation, they have very high expectations for who they want to be with for the rest of their life. They're somebody who needs that emotional connection, a sexual connection, and physical attraction for them to actually lay down foundations and actually give up their independence. I think it's very difficult for this person to give up their independence. And in the past, it's been a real challenge for previous partners to get them to commit the way that they've committed to you. I do also think that your future spouse has a connection to spirituality and fate and things like that. I don't see them being highly religious, although they totally could be, but it's more a concept of, because they did use the word angel in the letter, it's more a concept of, I will not settle until my angel arrives, until I feel that spiritual connection and that spiritual bond with somebody, as though that person was sent from God or sent from spirit, I will not settle. Now, something else to look out for with this person is it does look like they've recently had some kind of financial windfall. But unfortunately, because of the tarot cards that have came out, it looks like this windfall has been given to them, but it's caused them a lot of anxiety, which does make me think that potentially they've received some kind of inheritance. This could be a parent or this could be a grandparent here. And it's just a shame that they've had like this I even want to say kind of like lucky windfall of financial wealth. But unfortunately, it meant that they had to lose a loved one who is way more valuable than the amount of money that they've gained. I even want to say it was very unexpected as well. They didn't realise that maybe grandma had a, and as I say that, the candle goes out, but maybe they didn't realise that grandma has a very, very generous savings account, or had a very, very generous savings account. Or whether grandfather had like £30,000 underneath his mattress. It's that kind of energy that I'm getting here. Number 7 may mean something as well. I don't know whether they're going to say that their lucky number is number 7 or 777, or whether you have been seeing 777. 7 is a very spiritual number. So it could be a sign that this person's spirit is very close to you, their energy is very close to you, and they're coming in. And then we have gift here with the 9 of Wands. I think this person will be in a phase of having a lot of like material luck when you meet them. I think there's somebody who's previously worked very, very, very hard, but they may not have seen the results that you'd expect for the amount of work that they put into things. And I think when you meet them, they may be going through a phase where everything material is just starting to fall into place. I also want to say, because of this, when you first meet them on your first date in particular, I think they're going to gift you something. And I think whatever this gift is going to be something that's fairly expensive. And you may be a little bit like taken back, like, whoa, like it's our first date. Why are you buying me this gift? Like, this is too generous. But I think they're going to say something like, I've worked hard and I can afford it, so I want to give it to you. So look out for that. It may even make you a little bit defensive, because you're like, what's your game here? What do you want from me? Are you trying to pay me to like have like intimacy with me or something? Do you think this gift is going to make me give you something by the end of the night? But it's not like that. And I think because your future spouse has such a strong connection to their spirituality, when they met the one, or when they meet the one, they just know. So when it's their first date with you, or when they have like one of their early dates with you, they just know. So they know that this gift is going to be like a positive investment, because they just know it's you. And I do also want to say that this person is an attractive person. So they do have that energy and that very strong ability to be able to control as well, where they can be very sure of themselves at times. And they're like, look, like this person isn't going to get away from me. If I'm feeling this feeling, I'm having this person. This person is going to be my wife or my husband. So there's that element to it as well. Like, I can invest in this because I know this is going to be a very strong investment. So yeah, here's this gift. I feel very confident that I am not just losing a certain amount of money by buying you this gift. Okay, part number 3. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it helped in some way. If it did, please be sure to drop this reading a like and comment down below if you like the sound of this person, or if you have already met this person, or if this sounds like the kind of person that you always thought that you were going to marry. Also, subscribe, guys. Subscribe if you do like content like this, because it's the only way that you are going to know when I have posted a brand new pick a card reading. Take care of yourselves. Part number 3, you absolutely fabulous, beautiful, beautiful people. And I shall see you next time. Goodbye.